Yo Banter fam, what is happening? I hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday. As we can see, we got the pullback we were looking for. We can see support right now is being tested by Bitcoin. So finally it did make its way to the region from the $42,000 and the $44,000 zone. And the only reason, we're looking at 44,000 as Bitcoin's sort of support. And the only reason we said a possible test to 42,000 is firstly, we got the main trend line. But the altcoins weren't further, they weren't far enough down, in my opinion. We still had the RSIs making their way down. And now what's quite exciting is we have now the RSIs being reset on Bitcoin. We're on support right now. We do have our last support, which is at 42,000. We don't really have a massive bearish catalyst at this point that's really like affecting the markets too much, because we actually have stock markets that did really well in the last 2 weeks. It broke out of a trend, and now it's currently busy testing support on that as well. So we don't really have too much going down there. We obviously have an announcement possibly later on today, which can start bringing FOMO back in the market, and we can start getting another bullish catalyst in the market. And it's quite weird now that we're on support right now. A lot of our altcoins filled yesterday. So well done to those who took profits, and well done to those who set limit orders, because we just got some banger entries. Will there be one or two more? There will be possibly. I feel one or two alts will still go a little bit lower. But right now, before I get in, this is important. Daily stochastic at the bottom. 12-hour at the bottom. 8-hour at the bottom. 4-hour at the bottom. It's going to be a massive show, guys. Get out of bed and let's go.
What's up, guys? Yeah, it looks like Sheldon's battery is exhausted, so I'll kick us off while he gets that plugged in. Okay, let me just share my screen. All right, folks, so this is what I see over here. So very similar to Sheldon. Bitcoin is essentially pulled back. We've been looking for the lower high for the higher low for quite some time. So if you have a look over here, we've been tracking up. We created our first series of higher highs, then a higher low. This one was slightly lower than the top, almost even, back down again, and then to the top. So this is essentially what we're looking for. If I show my worst case scenario over here, let me just add that in. You have price coming in at this level at 42. Are you back, Sheldon?
Dude, the whole system, my camera just broke. I'm sorting it out.
I still can't see you, so you might have to reset that. But
now,
what I'll do is...
I will. For now, cool. Get them to like and subscribe, and then we will be back in action shortly.
Cool, you guys like and subscribe. I'm going to go over just a couple of things that I've been looking at, as well as the macro picture. So as I mentioned, similar to Sheldon, we have the pullback levels over here. $42,271 is going to be the absolute least that I can see it go. It's a very easy risk to reward ratio. If you have to cut that area out over there, if we fall anything underneath that, I would start to become a little bit more bearish. So zooming out, you have this green box over here. This is essentially tracked all of the important areas where it was a support resistance flip historically. So I'm actually a buyer at the moment. I don't know about you, Sheldon. What are you doing?
Yo, brother, I'm back. I'm back in action.
Welcome.
Dude. We've set a lot of the limit orders, and I think at this point we're looking really good. I think let's go through it. Let's have a look. I want to bring you on, brother, so we can sort of battle out the charts just now and just look at the two different main views. But thank you for covering my back, brother. I appreciate it.
Sure. Let's see what you're looking at. I've given them a short-term time frame, just on the 4-hour, like the exact area that I'm seeing. So just to catch you up, I would see this as an invalidation if we start going under there, especially on a daily close underneath 42,271. And this area is literally based off of a ascending diagonal trend line over here, so governing that region. I know you're looking at something similar. And then I just explained the green box territory over here was important support resistance flip areas historically through Bitcoin's past. And then, of course, as well, we have the stochastic RSI, which is just reaching the bottom levels. And if I have to switch on to a 4-hour chart, you're going to see that that's actually just started to turn back up, as well as the Fisher moving averages that I'm looking at as well. What are you seeing, bro?
Yo, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Let's jump on it. Let's have a look. So one thing we haven't seen just yet, and two sort of views that you want to look at this sort of area, is we don't have that short-term capitulation candle just yet. So we don't have that big green volume spike, when we're usually trending down and we get that's where the price drops quickly and it has a big sort of spike up. So we don't have that just yet, but it can come if the markets cool down. So what I'm sort of looking at this point is obviously Bitcoin came down and now we're on support. We do have a little bit room, possibly a little bit lower at 42,000. But for me, that's major support in this area over here. It's still in trend from this move that we've been in for a while. And like I said, what's very important is we have the daily, the 12-hour, the 8-hour, and the 4-hour stochastics at the bottom. And then we basically shift to say, that was one area that we're looking at and focusing on the last few weeks. Now, what is the other? And the other is we had the USDT dominance chart, right? This is what I've been drawing up for the last week. And you can see how that's now got into an overbought position. It's now in the overbought, over 80% territory region. And we could see that this was the major line that started off the original run that we've been in. And we knew that this was bottomed out. We were going to have a little bit of sell-off. So this was indicating the short-term pullback. And now we're at the area of these major resistances, where we have one more that's slightly another 1% higher. That's what I'm saying. Maybe one little wick down, which we will go through shortly. But for now, the USDT dominance is getting exhausted to the upward side, which is now, we've been talking about very much similar to this area over here, the next big leg. And this is indicating for us here that we've definitely lost momentum. We definitely made a lower low in this. And we can see the next leg being bigger than the first leg, as it has always been before. Which just now gives us another good indication, limit order should be set, and stocking up in these zones is very important because we're getting the big signs. Now, what is the second sign? The second sign is...
just quickly for the viewers, just so you understand, this chart going down is obviously a good thing, right? Because that's the tether, the people holding tether. If they deploy their tether into the market, then of course the altcoins are going to go up. Just for the guys that are new and maybe unsure of why that chart going down is actually a good thing.
Yeah. So this chart going down just means dollars is now coming into the market. It means people are getting out of USDT and they're getting into coins. So whenever this is going up, it means people are getting out of coins into dollars. And when this is going down, people are getting into they're taking their dollars now and they're getting into the market. So we always want to see it. The last times these happened was when we had big bull seasons and big bull rallies at that sort of point. So that's good. And then you got the Bitcoin dominance chart, which as altcoin and degen guys, we want to see this coming down. A clearly lost trend. And now it's at that point where we had a short-term little pull up, tested these resistances, and we can see the next leg of the Bitcoin dominance being a big one, which is always a great indication for alt. So altcoins is the place you want to be right now. And you can see that very clear on how strong altcoins have been, even throughout this dip. Bitcoin came down. It came down to, 42.8. ETH still at 3.2. It's very similar ranges. That was the pullback from ETH. We needed a short-term pullback at these sort of points, but that was it. Look how much stronger they are on the upward side than actually to the downward side. And when the market is weak, you do not have that. You don't have the altcoin showing so much strength at this point. Look at Solana, which I'll get into shortly. And just see where this trend is here. But you can see how it has hit this line beautifully. It's literally hit our trend line and our support line. Great. And it was just showing that we always have the bulls pushing up. Then we knew it was oversold, something was going to happen, and we've come down and we've just tested our momentum line. Now we've tested our momentum line. We now have the RSI getting to the oversold position. And the reason why, this is sort of what I'm painting and what I'm sort of looking at now, guys, is we've only reached the bottom now. So what usually happens is when we hit the bottom, we actually slow down. So I'm looking at today being slow in the region of still the 42 to the 44. That's what we actually want to see. We want it to sort of range sideways. Calm down now. Get out of the panic. No one's panicking. I don't see any massive red panic volume bars at all at the moment, which is a great sign to see. But I see a slowish sort of day. And then for me, looking at the stock markets, that's something to look at quickly because it is important. This is what the stock market has done recently. It is basically broke trend, and you can see there right now, beautiful break, beautiful test. So we always want to come look at this to see, this is the only bad boy that's affected crypto quite a lot in the last year. And we have this literally breaking out and retesting perfectly at this point. We have the stochastic getting to an oversold position. So stock markets are looking fine. Temporary, they're looking good, and there's not much happening there. Now, the only big question we had was, for Bitcoin to finally break above 48, we know 48 is our key zone now. We know it's the 200-day moving average. It's a very important zone, and that's why we got slight rejected at that point. Is now, what's the next catalyst that can get Bitcoin? We need retail. This is the retail line. The retail line is the 200-day moving average. That's when retail enter the market, and the whales no longer need to move the market. They just need to get priced to this area. Once they get priced to a certain area, price just takes off. When it gets to very important zones, you can see here, this was not big institutions buying at these times. This was retail buying. The big fight was when it had to get up in these big areas here where no one wants Bitcoin. No one wants crypto because it's fell so much and they're so scared of it. And they are the ones that have to get it up to these regions. Once they get it up to the region, it then rides beautifully itself. And that's the same thing. So we need Bitcoin to break above 48. And that's when I believe retail will enter the market. That's when everyone's going to be telling you to buy Bitcoin. And we are already going to be in at lower sort of areas. So for me, we got an announcement possibly tonight. We have Jack talking later on. Will it be on the Apple News? Will that be something that can give us the catalyst sort of move? And it's quite crazy. We got the speech later. We got RSIs all at the bottom. All of our coins are holding trend at this point. Things are still definitely to the upward side. They're definitely pointing to the upward side at this point, and we don't have any really massive major warning signs at this point. Yesterday we set so many limit orders, and I think we got some beautiful entries. Now I do think with a lot of them, especially like ETH, if Bitcoin wants to come to 42, expect slightly little lower, a possible entry. Now I gave 3 different limit orders on a lot of altcoins yesterday. And I would say 2 of them hit on a lot of them. There was still 1 more that didn't hit, and we always got to be aware of that. So what we're waiting for, guys, is now what Bitcoin's going to basically do. It's going to basically start forming. It's basically got a new trend, and this new trend is this top trend over here. So Bitcoin from here, we can bounce there, we can range here, make the higher low, and then we can get the strong breakouts. And this will be our next area where we start laddering in more and we get remainder of what we didn't manage to get in. For now, it was great setting limit orders at support lines. And if you didn't catch 1 or 2 of your limit orders, your next buy signal is the break of trend, because then we know it's a confirmation buy. We finally have RSIs that are in a way better place. And now you're not FOMOing into the market. So the possibilities is Bitcoin, possibly 1 more little push down as option 1 to 42, which means I'll have limit orders slightly lower than where they were yesterday, meaning 3-1 for ETH. Look at Cardano. It made it beautifully to our buy zone. I still have 1 in the region of 1.2, slightly in that zone, just in case we get the little quick, further little dip out. Look at lots of them. Tezos, bottom, on trend right now. So that one's looking really good for me at this point. We look at Atom, Solana, possibly Solana 108. So we're there, guys. We're like 85, in my opinion, we're 85 to 90% there on these short-term pullbacks. I'm only going to add, the buys we got yesterday were perfect. I will only add if we can get it, that last little push down to the support, or we're going to wait for the confirmation break of the next trend. But for me, guys, everything's pointing that dominance is USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance is showing me a massive leg down on the next leg. And for me, that always pictures something that this was a nice leg from Bitcoin, but the next one looks bigger. And maybe it's not bigger on Bitcoin because we have the dominance coming down so hard, but for the altcoins, guys, this is what has happened recently. That leg there and this little pullback. This looks like me as the first leg. For me, the next one, third leg is always the bigger one. And that's the one can take it back to 4K. Now people will say, okay, like, why is that? How would we say ETH can get to 4K? Look at ETH. It's above 200-day moving average to Bitcoin. It's showing tremendous amount. It has now turned it into support at this point. And you can see the strength on how ETH is showing. We need ETH as the leading alt to give us these sort of early indications. And now it's showing from here, we can be looking at a very strong push. And here we're looking at a long-term sort of upwards flag or channel or whatever you want to call it. But right now, it is showing, altcoins is showing a lot of strength. And if we're showing a lot of strength, it's not showing that we're in a weak market at the moment. Let's go through a few of them quickly, and then we can jump on some of your analysis there, Carl. We can go through some Bitcoin and what you're looking at, brother. So look at MATIC. It's beautiful on there at the bottom now. Look at Link. Guys, our limit orders were beautiful yesterday. Link's there for me now. Dollar costing in the zone now, getting ready. I have one more order at 14.8. Guys, there can be one more small little push. Take advantage of that. Was it not nice that you finally took some profits from the top and now you got limit orders to be buying the bottoms? You know what I mean? And will they be bottoms? Let's say they lose support now. For us, it's very easy then. We bought on support. So if you lose support, you can get out on the retest of support again, which means you're getting out on a break of support, showing weakness, but you're not losing any money. And then we know we're going to lower areas because it's so much better to be buying on low RSIs, because at least now you're going to get a reaction first and then you can make a decision. Because what do we need now? If Bitcoin now rallies from here, and the things we've got to look at is Bitcoin now bounces here, and it does not get the higher high or anything that sort of region, it can indicate the next leg down. Definitely. And for us, we're buying here, we'll ride this up. If we don't get where we need to get, we'll free up along the journey and sort of look. But if we jump, Chainlink, great. ThorChain, hope you guys listened. I hope you took some profits on the way up, because now we're getting there again. And for me, ThorChain around $8 to $9, especially for the next leg. We'll see after that if we make the higher high. But for me, ThorChain is great in this area. It was way better than buying it at $11 to $13 last week. And now you're at a great area. The fundamentals are killing it on ThorChain at the moment. They're looking great. Super, right there. Look at Super. I do apologize for my drawings. I teach a lot. But remember, Super, guys.
Beautiful, bro.
Okay. Look there. Long-term day trend. Beautiful test. RSI at the bottom. That's what we want to see. That's how we want to. That's how we want to be entering trades. Same as Arweave, same as Kusama, VTHO. I've been through quite a bit of them. I'll be going through a lot for the community straight after. But I think for now, quickly jump on there, Carl. Give me your analysis quick on what you're thinking, whatever you want to show, and then I'm going to go through many of the alts we spoke about yesterday and how I'm going to be trading them.
Cool. I'll be relatively quick. Let's have a look over here. So essentially what I was seeing is we had this massive move, right? Call it from this area over here coming up. I didn't know how far we would go, but I suspected that when we met this 200-day moving average, we might deviate over the top. And I knew there would have to be a pullback, which has, of course, come to this region. So I'm watching something similar to Sheldon. I'm looking for the momentum oscillators to start turning back up now. And then we'd re-tackle that $48,000 area, which is where the 200-day moving average is coming. The next major resistance I would expect that we're going to target is right up over there to that horizontal resistance, which is coming in at $52,000. So we need to watch that area quite carefully. I don't know if we'll crack it on the first go. Once we crack this area, then I'll feel much more confident that we truly back in a bull market, because at the moment I'm not entirely sure. And the reason that I say that is if I have to go to one of these charts over here, it's got to do with the fib levels, right? So the retracement levels over here. In a very bearish market, what you would expect to happen is you would have a deviation. And what I mean by deviation is simply this. If you have a horizontal support or resistance area over there, a deviation means price will peek its head over the top and then just reject straight back down. So we have that at the 382 at the moment, which we had it peak over the top and come back down. At the end of the day, I'm following trend first. So we have the lows over there. Then you have the higher high, higher low, next higher high, which has peaked over the top, and we've pulled back down right into an area of support, which is the same diagonal trend line that Sheldon's looking at. There, I see Rand's joining as well. He's missing the alpha here today, Rand. So what I want to see is this area absolutely has to be defended by the bulls. If we lose that area, we're in big trouble. I think that that could mean that we're going into a prolonged bear market. So I'm watching that area carefully. The other thing that I'm looking at over here is I had this chart previously, which was the quarterly key levels, right?
I thought I'd come. People on Twitter were saying Carl's on the charts, Carl's on the charts. I thought, I thought, hold on, I have to come and watch this.
You can always watch it on 2x speed later. We know you enjoy doing that, so it's up to you. But yes, here we are, we're live. So on the quarterly chart, I mapped out these important areas. This is essentially the macro range that we trading within, and the Bollinger Bands are contracting, so we definitely be coming into a major decision point. I moved it onto a weekly scale, and the last time that I was on the show, can't remember if it was on Run Show or Sheldon's, but I mapped out these areas over here. I said that essentially what I'm watching is I don't want to see as well a deviation over that area, which is kind of looking like what's happening, which is why it's so important that this trend line has to be defended, as I've shown you on the previous charts. We need to clear and get back above that 46,000 region as quick as possible. The good thing, though, is that we have the weekly MACD, which has crossed bullish. So as long as this remains, we should be okay. What I did is on Twitter, I also took this MACD chart and I showed historically how long it's remained bullish for. So if you go into my Twitter, you'll find all of that. But on average, you hold bullish momentum for around 4.6 months or so. So call it 3 to 4 months, which is what I'm hoping for. If we have 3 months of bullish price action, that's going to be absolutely massive for the altcoins. The only thing, so I'll finish up now, Sheldon, then it's back to you, is the open interest is the other thing that's of concern. So anytime that the open interest gets to the levels that we're currently at, you can expect a major pullback, and that can go a minimum of 20%. So ultimately, what I would hope for is I would like to see on this chart again, I would like to see us push up while the open interest climbs and then target this horizontal resistance area at $52,000. I'd love to see us deviate over the top and then the open interest to unwind and pull us back down to create the next higher low, which would be somewhere around here at about $40,000 to $47,000 region. And then that would be it. Hopefully it wipes out all of the longs, leverage longs, I might add. And then, yeah, we can go back onto the bull run. That's what I'm seeing. That's
so Carl, quick question from us here, as we've been drunk at the party now for the last while. Are you coming back to the party is what we're asking.
I'm at the party. I've already had a few drinks. I'm probably 3 drinks
deep. For a water break. I also went for a quick one, but I'm just checking you're coming back.
Yeah, I'm about 3 beers in. 3 beers in, so I haven't started adding leverage yet, which let's refer to that as tequila shots. Those are gonna come up here. Once we wipe out the leverage and we clear this horizontal resistance, this is where I'm happy to start adding leverage to my trades. And now I'm just trading spot.
Sure.
Did you get that?
I got that. What are you thinking?
And I'm just going to go through all the alts and we're going to make a dream team. Yeah, we're going to make the community a lot of money. That's the whole purpose.
Sheldon is exceptional at finding those alt gems. So I'm still learning from him on that. I prefer to just look at Bitcoin and then go to Sheldon and see which alts are looking juicy. If Bitcoin's looking good, then I'm happy to take any of Sheldon's alt calls, which at the moment I'm a buyer. So let's hear it, Sheldon. What have you got?
Go for it.
Okay. Thank you.
Just tell the guys that there's a new channel, Microdose. Carl's going to be posting charts on Microdose. Get them to subscribe. Show them the channel.
Okay, cool. Guys, Microdose. I'll show you guys here now quickly. Let's actually get my chart back up. We can have a look. So if you have a look, guys.
Crypto shorts.
Yeah, so it's going to be called Crypto Shorts, and it's basically going to be giving mine and Carl's analysis every single day on 2-minute videos on a coin one at a time. So I think it's going to be great. I think right now it is called Crypto Banter Microdose.
Microdose, yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you give that a follow, guys, as this is going to be giving a lot of short-term views. And have a look there. There we go. So you can see it over there, guys. And this will be giving, you can see Carl already did one yesterday. I did one as well on the main channel, but we'll be dropping tons of these. Only Bitcoin, only ETH. They're 2 minutes, 3-minute bite-size charts for you guys on all of our TA and all of the calls. So I think it's going to be really a massive addition, just so that you can have a mix of both. And if you want to find the exact token and what you're looking at. So first one I'm looking at, and we spoke about yesterday. Guys, one thing that I want you to learn quickly today is something very serious. is we got tons of buys and we're doing flipping well, like we're doing really, really, really well. And we're going to get even better buys now as well. But just make sure you still focus on the main structure of splitting your portfolio, safe, medium risk, and high risk. Just make sure you do that, please. 15% high risk, 35% medium risk, and your safer risk gems. As that's what a whole point of a recycle, like let's say a market cycle, of an upwards and a downwards of a daily RSI and weekly is giving you your homework about when we get here, rebalance your portfolio, and then we start again. So it's not just the calls, guys, and getting in and out of the market that's going to make you a lot of money. It's recategorizing. As Zol made a last
he has one of your portfolios over here, Sheldon.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly that. So make sure you categorize it, guys. So that's the true skill. That's what makes you a lot of money. So if we have a look, guys, like I was saying, ETH 3.1, Tezos for me is in a great zone now. It can go to 3.2. I'll be adding one more limit order there, but I think there we got that spot on. Cardano, one more around $1, $1.20 in case it does go there. We're not promised we're going to go lower than where we went. Like we did hit support. We did hit the major buy zone that we wanted to hit. But I'm setting one more in these zones. Solana's beautiful for me now. Like in these zones are great for me. AVAX, guys, boom. AVAX on the money right now. Went great. I would put another limit order at the previous low and one more at $80. But AVAX for me is fantastic. DOT hit it perfectly. One more at around $19, $19.20. VET just above, possibly a little bit lower. So around 62 cents in that region if we get it. Link, MATIC, a lot of the ones I've been going through quite often, guys. So is there any ones that they want me to chart here? Just have a look there for me, Carl.
Cool, let me see it.
There's lots. There must be.
Let's see for the ones that are often
look at
repeated.
those guys. Like we did very well being patient and buying these now. Render's on support right now. You know, Render's definitely, it's under my higher risk and it's beautiful on support right now, which is great. Daily stochastic at the bottom.
How's Fantom doing? Is that surviving? Because we know it came up to that major resistance. I don't know if it rejected off there. I haven't even looked yet.
There we go, brother. Boom.
There we go.
We got it. There's one more around 120 if we do get it. But Fantom, now it's better to start deploying now. You know, we're waiting to finally see if it was going to get to better levels. And now it has. We got the daily stochastic nearly at the bottom. It's showing 1 or 2 more days, which just means it's going to slow down in the sort of area. But what I like about Fantom, one thing that is looking pretty good now, is it's getting to a point where it's going to make a decision in the next few weeks. And obviously the big break of that daily trend will send Fantom on a big run. So for those who missed Fantom then or wanted to buy it at these areas, now you're finally getting it at a way better price, if I can call it. A lot of guys were FOMOing in here. Now you're paying a realistic price, but you're paying it on a big downtrend, and it's going to play a big effect in the future. Kusama, the head and shoulders I was talking about, a little bit lower, possibly 164. So I'll have an order there. Remember my T-Fuel and VTHO, T-Fuel hit it perfect. Guys, we smashed it yesterday. We did very well yesterday. I hope you guys are getting used to setting limit orders. You know, it's not all about, market buys. One that's looking good on your gaming portfolio is Ultra. There's the test now. It's looking great at the zone. Around about 110 is my region for Ultra. A lot of strength there. I saw Anchor Protocol. Did you guys get it yesterday? There it goes. You know, we spoke about the bull flag yesterday on Anchor, and it literally ripped. From there, it broke the 200-day moving average. It did, 25, 30, 20% in that sort of region. It did hit the first resistance. That's why I always take some profits at first resistance. It's got another one at 3.7 and another one at 4.3. So don't buy now. The only time you would buy more if it comes back to $3. Remember, buy RSIs at the bottom. That's a major lesson here. Always buy your tokens when the daily is in these areas here. And you know that they've confirmed the previous higher high before that. I saw Doge had a big spike and then got completely destroyed. So I'm officially just not a fan of DogeCoins. I feel they just destroy you all the time. Cardano, here's it there, guys. On support right now. Higher it. This is beautiful for me. We got bullish divergence on a
love this chart here.
That's great, bro. That's what you want to see. This is where you want to be buying. So, guys, I'm bullish at this point. I think the markets are going to slow down. I think we got news later. We have all our RSIs at the bottom. I'm not missing the opportunity of loading my bags here. I've made sure I've restructured my whole portfolio into the right percentages. I've made sure I don't have more than 20 tokens. I don't think you should be right now. Until Bitcoin's above 50K, I wouldn't be diversifying too much just yet until we know we're at the next, we've broken the next sort of region. Anything else you're looking at, brother?
Yes, I actually have one more chart that I forgot to show. I know the guys were going absolutely nuts over this one, and that's the moons, the moon cycle. So I'm by no means an astrologer or anything. I don't follow any of that. I just came across this about 2 years ago, and I found it very fascinating, very interesting with how reliable it is. So, of course, the moons can affect your emotional state that controls the tides, and they actually say that billionaire traders do look at what astrology is doing and what the moons are doing. So what I did is I still use my other technical analysis skills first and foremost to make a decision. But if price is coming up to an area of resistance, like it kind of was in this region over here, and it prints a moon over there, I'd be more inclined to sell, which is basically why I ended up selling that $47,000 region. It was one of the reasons. It's not the only reason. So zooming out, I mean, I use it as well, by the way, with the RSI Stoke. So if you have to zoom out, I created vertical lines over here. So have a look at that. This will basically show you in the history of this, any time that I didn't go too far back. I went as far as January 2021. So anytime the RSI stochastic came below that region, so into like this bearish control zone, which is outside of the purple, and it dropped down into the black zone, when it started tilting back up, I created a vertical line there, and you can have a look at how interestingly it works. So it might not nail it like to the exact day, but you can see it printed a bull moon over there, and it comes, the RSI Stoke starts printing back up. So you have that little bullish cross over there, and it holds you, boom, all the way to that region. I only did it for the bullish case. So when it crosses back up and you got a bull moon, there's another one. Look at that move. And these are quite big moves. I mean, I can show you over here. Let's just measure out one or two of them. So from there to there, 61%. I'm not trading on the moon, but it is very interesting. So that's about a 30% move over there. And yeah, it continues. Like all of these are up moves over here. There's, I think, only like maybe one or two that failed. So this would be one. It still got you a small move. Let me just get that ruler again. So you still got a small move over here, but like, I mean, 28%, that's still a pretty big move. Look at this one until the next moon. That one took you 63% up. And this is, again, used on the daily chart. This one, let's say, so we won't cherry pick. You got the cross over here. Let's say you bought that area over there and you held it. Again, that's only an 8% move, and then you got the bear moon. So some of them you lose on. No trading system is ever going to be perfect, but you're just looking for probabilities, right? So again, this area over here, it would be nice to see Bitcoin if it had to consolidate in this region. Like you said it's probably going to slow down for a bit. So it would be great if it just held this trend over here and price maybe slowed down into this area over here. And then this vertical white line over here is when the next bull moon will arrive. It's on the 16th of April. So as long as we can hold this trend line, in my opinion, until the 16th of April, it'll be very interesting to see. What I'm going to do, let's put on a drawing over here. This is how I would imagine it's going to play out, and then we'll come and see how it works at a later stage. So it's possible that we come down like this, and then I'd like to see if we kind of hold this area, and then maybe that's when we challenge that 52,000 area, come back down, and then up. These are just LARP lines. Let's see how it plays out. I'll post that on my Twitter.
Love it, brother. I'm going to have a look at. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it, bro. Carl will be coming on a lot more with you guys. Twice a week he'll be on and just giving two perspectives from TA, and it's great. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Thank you, brother. Okay, cool, guys. Last ones here. I know there was a few questions here. Gala games on support right now. Beautiful at this point. For me, this is a great DCA zone. This is great for Gala. Like, you know, daily at the bottom, 12 at the bottom, 8 at the bottom, 4 hour at the bottom. So Gala Games, if you're looking for those entries, we had the short-term little breakout a few days ago and ended up coming back to test support. And this is looking really good. Fundamentals are great. So that is looking really good. I saw there was a few more and I just want to get through them just in case anyone fights with me that I didn't call their coin. Let's have a look. Tornado Cash is still in that bull flag. Arweave. So Arweave is still on that main support trend at the moment where it broke that long-term downwards trend. So for me, Arweave is great in this area. It's really, really, really good. Someone asked me an important question about stop losses. Exactly. So we're getting our limit orders now and we'll be focusing a lot on stop losses on them tomorrow. We've been, RSIs are at the bottom, guys. So we want RSIs to start taking off now, get a bit of a bounce, and we can put stop losses to get the risk out of the way. So Arweave for me is great. I don't think you want to miss Arweave. It looks like the next big leg on it is coming very soon. Credo as well. Trader Joe, finally getting to a cheaper range now. Yes, Trader Joe, guys. Higher risk, great play in the zone here. It's looking good between 110 to 120 in that zone. So Trader Joe is looking good. Axie, yes, baby. That's where we want it. Be patient. Don't chase the pumps. Don't chase the hypes. That's on support right now. Remember, if something moves very quick one way, it always moves just as fast the other way. And you want to catch it on the early stage of where that bounce. That's the realistic bounce. And now we have this over here. I saw someone spoke about Zill. Let's answer Zill because I think Zill is a big one we need to focus on. So for me, guys, Zill, it's either going to basically form a basic flag. So I think it's done its move for now. I think it's going to take a little bit more time until it does the next sort of move. So I just have limit orders sitting at this region over here, which is basically 9 cents to the 11 cents mark. If it hits it, it hits it. Until then, I don't think there's much that's going to happen with Zill at this point. That was the move, guys. That's what you trade for. You trade all of this time and you try your ass every single day for that one single move. That's what crypto is. And that's exactly why we're fighting for entries now, because if things go right, we can have a $5,000 ETH. We can have the alt market completely ripping. Maybe we get a lower high from Bitcoin, and this is true alt season, where we don't have Bitcoin. Maybe this dominance completely drops through, and we have a leg that finally takes us to all-time lows in dominance. And then that's it for a while. We'll see how it goes, guys. So we'll keep updating. I know it was quite a busy show today, a lot of analysis. For now, guys, I'm buying on this dip. Things are looking great right now. There is a possibility of 42,000. So I have limit orders a little bit lower than where they were, but my USDT dominance has hit the resistance I wanted to. It's showing me the next big wave is coming. We got news later on today. All my RSIs are reset. For me, this is your zone that when you took profit last week, this is where you should be deploying and get back in the market. I don't see any catalysts that are really scaring the market. The stock market's looking healthy. Things are looking healthy. So for me, this is looking really good, guys. So tomorrow I'll be going through a lot more of your guys' coins for you guys. Remember, the ones that I call are the ones that I'm in. If I do take any from you guys, do your own research. You can have CoinPanel, brother. You get a full year subscription. Anyone else? CoinPanel. Here we go. One more for you as well. And I'll give away another 3 tomorrow, as well as IDO giveaways as well. Until then, guys, have a fantastic day. We're doing very well. Let's stick it together. I'm here through the times. We did well the last 2 weeks. I'm here again, and we're going to be getting the next entries. And when we get the rocket off again, I'll help you guys take profits again. Let's ride this wave together and let's kick ass. Be safe out there and have a fantastic day. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow, mate, fam.